Hello, everyone. Welcome back to yet another political episode. So, it is true, Donald Trump is crushing Kamala Harris in polling, but that does not mean we have to excuse the possibilities of a Kamala Harris overperformance. And as you know, I've always been very cautious about that overperformance because all we got to do is walk into this the wrong way and we're done. It's over. I'll tell you, Donald Trump has a really good chance because you look at the polling here, you'll see Donald Trump's at 50. Some of the polling says 50%, like Atlas Intel. And that's a good sign. That is a good sign. And we we should be optimistic about that. But I'm going to tell you, we can't downplay the doomsday scenario. So this is what it's looking like so far. Sort of like, as you know, what it's looked like with the Biden Trump rematch prediction. And really, nothing's really changed. There has been people going in and out of the Democrats for Democrat support. Yes, there are people that are like, I would say, the ultra woke, the ultra left, the the racial supremacists that'll say, "Oh, I'm totally going to go and vote for Kamala Harris because she's a woman or she is a person of color." So they go and flock to her. And there's people that are on the Biden camp that just don't like that Kamala Harris, more like Kumala Harris, launched her own coup and took out Biden, thus said, basically rejecting election results at hand here. And they overall are like, you know what, we're just not going to vote, or I'm not going to vote for Kamala. But I would say there are more people coming in support of Kamala Harris than actually, um, as you know, rejecting. And you'll see her favorability rating has gone up. She is still unfavorable. Don't get me wrong. You'll see it's getting a big nosedive. I don't know if this has been the highest it has ever been. Yeah, it's been 2022 was sort of the highest. But yeah, it's kind of rebounding right here. That's because she ran for president and she gets the pro black mob in support of her, of course. But yes, but really, she hasn't really won a poll of support since 2021. So, yeah, not really in her favor. But yes, not very popular. So, yeah, do we have this in the bag? Allegedly. We allegedly have this in the bag. Kamala Harris's campaign, I'll tell you, a lot of people say it's falling apart. Well, here's the thing. I honestly do not know. We don't know what's going on with her campaign. We really don't know. I'll tell you, it's confusing because she raises $550 million in 24 hours, and then she has a rally in a high school gymnasium in Milwaukee with like less than 5,000 people. Well, I don't even know if it was 5,000. Like, literally, the whole gym wasn't even packed. I'm like, okay, 550 million people. $550 million, I'd expect more people and more energy to show up at her rally. That's just a reality. But then you got 100K people showing up on Zoom. And here's the fact: people are more likely to show up from home than actually go through the trouble of driving to see you in person. It's just a reality. So, really, it's so simple just to pull up your computer and join the Zoom. It really is. And the Democrats go, oh my goodness, 100K thousand. No, not 100K, but 100,000. 100 people. Well, actually, was it 100,000? Oh, I think it was 100. Um, I don't know. A handful of race baiting Democrats joined our Zoom. She's going to win. Well, yeah. Then again, the theory is people are going to show more support when they're in the comfort of their own home, because all I got to do is flip up my laptop and join the Zoom. Really? Why should I drive down the road? Or, in other words, why should I drive? And people will, because people are like, seeing you on Zoom is not really the same as being in person, right? I mean, Kamala Harris wasn't even on the Zoom, and that's the thing. And she drew 100 some support. Good for you, I guess. And I believe that, yeah, it's just ridiculous. But yeah, the state of Kamala's campaign is unknown. A lot of people say, "Oh, it's crashing," or "Oh, it's um, yeah, it's not doing so well." Well, it's in the honeymoon phase, and that's all I'm going to tell you. A lot of Republicans are saying the honeymoon phase is over. I mean, like the honeymoon, because look at all the polls. Well, here's the thing: we can't just keep looking at numbers. We can't just keep looking at polls. We got to look at momentum. We got to look at interest. Now, the honeymoon phase is dying down. It's dying down. Absolutely. Give it another week. Some say maybe it's going to be over this week. But realistically, I would say give it another week or another week and a half, and it's going to die down. The momentum is going to be like, oh, it's Kamala Harris, and she's a so-called person. The color doesn't really matter, really. It really doesn't matter. Seeing things in the lens of race, it really doesn't work well in your interest, doesn't it? It really doesn't. And in other words, yeah, I really do think, yeah, look at this in, let's just say, a week or a week and a half. It's going to probably die down. That's not downplaying it, but just being realistic. Realistic. That's sort of how it's going to be. And this is not the same thing as Trump's campaign. No way. No way. Because have people always been jumping up and down for Kamala Harris? Well, the NPCs and the race baiters, they do. They'll totally jump up and down. But people in general, I don't think so. Donald Trump, on the other hand, people jump up and down. Well, realistically, because Donald Trump is a well-known figure. You may not want him to be your president, but you like him in general. That's what a lot of people do. That's what a lot of people view him as. So this is interestingly enough. So interesting enough. we just say, okay, it's in the honeymoon phase. No reason to panic. Oh, Republicans shouldn't be panicking. Why are we panicking? Why are we saying, oh, we're going to lose? Oh, well, look at right now. We're at 312 electoral votes. We are beating Kamala in the polls. We're not in panicking phase yet, guys. We're not in panicking phase yet. And she hasn't gained anything except for those 2 polls 2 days ago. It's ending for her. It's the momentum is slowing down. And just because you have Newt Gingrich come out and say, hey, and he's right, we need to not downplay this. Kamala Harris, here's the thing. They're bored with Joe Biden. They have no reason to go and vote for a white old man. The pro-black mob, like I always keep saying, they're not really pro-black. They're pro-progressive. The pro-racial mob, and they're not energized with him because he's a white old man. But if you get a woman and a person of color, realistically, yeah, they're gonna have more momentum for her, despite her being more unpopular. That's just the reality of the situation. So, what are your thoughts? Yes, it's hard to see Kamala again, but realistically, like I keep saying, you got the feminist mob, you got, as you know, the racial mob, you got the anti-Trump mob, and you got the NPC mob. You got all these 4 mobs. The NPC mob has always been with Biden. The anti-Trump mob has always been with Biden also. But now you got 2 new mobs joining the Democrats. The racial mob, and now there's a difference. There's a difference, guys. I'm going to call you, I won't say racial supremacist. I think that's going a little too far. But I'm going to call you a race baiter. Not because it's basically if you a race baiter. Basically, if you see through the lens of race, I'm voting for Kamala Harris because she is a person of color. That's really a ridiculous reason, and that's not how Barack Obama was elected. Believe it or not. Sure, a lot of people did that, but really, Barack Obama was elected because of the recession. The recession. Democrats were overall favored in 2008. Republicans are kind of looked down. And I mean, there's a reason why John McCain didn't really do so well. John McCain was a legend. Perhaps if it wasn't 2008, he would have won in 2004 or 2000. But he didn't win in 2008 because Republicans are frowned upon. Barack Obama used great, very smart man, gonna tell you that, used campaign tactics to his advantage. We're not downplaying that. But really, I have a hard time thinking a majority of Americans coming out to support Kamala Harris because she's a woman. Well, let's think. Hillary Clinton didn't even get a majority of Americans supporting her. She's a woman. But the thing is, we weren't in a crisis back then as we are in right now. Yes, we had illegal immigrants coming into the country. But are we seeing, were they going into the country in a mass escalation as they are right now? No. No. Was the economy, it wasn't that bad, but as you can see, the direction of the country was not so good under Obama. But then again, Obama was somewhat popular. Obama's approval rating was moderate. But as you know, the media and the propaganda from the media, they continue to push and insist that Obama must be it has to be the most perfect and the best president in modern history. Conservatives strongly disagree with that. So, there you have it. And it looks like it's not really working in the direction of the country, but then again, it really doesn't matter where the direction of the country is, because I'll tell you this, the direction of the country was not so good, I would say, under Obama, and he won re-election. It doesn't really matter, really. It really doesn't matter. It's a polarized society, a polarized country. And that's kind of the reality. So, what are your thoughts? Anyway, I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next political episode.